I don't really think that the Roger is quite a bit of a threat to the side of
Roger
Omega.
is stable.
Just because these heroes want to fight melee range, and that's what the Roger does.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's probably somewhat of a snowball composition here for the side of BREN Esports.
Uh,
They can do.
well, the better part here is this is an earlier composition. This is an earlier composition compared to the flood composition of game number 1. We can up until if Ruby, if well, it's not gonna be Courtesy who will be on the Ruby. It's gonna be Courtesy on Yuzo and Toshi on Ruby. But if this turned out to be the same performance as game number
Yeah.
1, same impact as Johead, they should start punishing hit right now. Then we might really have a 2-0 here because Omega's performance that is really strong. It has an impression, right?
I do get why BREN Esports went for Roger, because one of the things you do to beat a Selena is you force engage them every
Yeah.
single time. Remember, Selena, when she has the time to poke you guys down with the arrow and
Yeah.
just get a good initiation, just because she can. That's the time where it actually hurts for the side of BREN Esports. But if they always force engage, it won't be a problem. And right
Yeah.
now, they actually go in for a few.
Yeah, they went in for a few, and the idea is experience lane for Curl Z. Alright, so what they do is they want to get an experience advantage for Curl Z here. Curl Z is level 2. Hajisi sits at level 1. Hit is now invading, but the problem here is Hit is invading against someone, against a carry which has a level 2. Pew is kiting back.
Oh,
Okay, we're trying to read the early rotation. Si Rebo was forced to get onto the recall.
and look at Lusty here, not really caring about anything here. Haze!
Ooh!
Wow!
Yeah, there goes the first blood. Actually, Pew also goes in. And he got cornered here. That's 2-4-0. So, that was a good attempt, I think, by Bran. It's just really, it fell short by a very, very little margin, especially of, I think it was him. He's surviving.
Look at this Flap trying to go for that invade, but here is where the patch makes a lot of sense. You cannot just force yourself in and take that without the Hunter's Knife. The
Yeah.
Hunter's Knife made you capable of doing this, and it seems to me like BREN Esports, they're trying out new things, but it's not really working on their favor.
Let's look at the Vigilant. Instant replay here. Butters. One auto. He went for the flicker. Quite a bit late on the flicker, honestly. Um, And that is the thing. There's a lot of damage there, and Hit always has a very high presence of mind in participating and making sure that he deals out the most damage possible for his teammates. So, yeah, that is a good lead. And the worst part about it for Bren is that Hachisu was involved. He got 2 physical attack dagger lead compared to Roger here with the boots. But there's a very little lead. That's just 100. Here, Lusty, he will be popped once again.
And look at how commanding this jawhead pick is to the map. They're really just showing a lot of stuff that they can possibly pick off with this
Yeah,
jawhead.
oh my god. That's a lot of crowd control. And the problem there is, look at the durability there of Hit. And that allows for Hajisi to just clean up. Your eyebrows are meeting, but
Oh my god, this is
we are all shocked with.
this is absurd. Like
Yeah, very absurd.
this is absurd. I mean, if I'm not really looking at it in a way that Omega cannot beat BREN, but the amount of pressure that a Jawhead and a Selena puts into the map, I cannot fathom how pressured BREN Esports is right now.
And Hit is on a support emblem. Hit is on a that's not a tank emblem even. That's not even a fighter emblem. So look at that. That is crazy, man. Very curious on the. I forgot to look at his first score item. I would be expecting a mass here, but right now early game control. That's very big lead. That's 3,000 onto the side of Omega here, and now they're starting onto the turtle. Lusty again. Very poor performance here on the backshot compared to the Joe earlier that forces the side leaders to participate, and they don't care. Even if Rebo diving in, forced to actually flicker out with his blood already turned on. Re-engage comes in, he gets focused once again, and Toshi is there to follow through. There goes Flux, he goes for the knockout, flickers away, and that's what Toshi has done.
And
Man!
while that's
Omega!
happening, Curtsy going for that turret. Now you can see that there is quite a significant change in the turret damage.
Yeah.
Turret damage that you can do. It's reduced. to make sure that the laning stage sticks for a bit. Now, Omega, they're commanding
They
this
come out
map.
of this game, and here's the thing. Because of the side laner, because of Flap TC, because of Flap TC being forced to participate in the mid lane, now Kurtzy has the level advantage. I cannot but feel that Flap TC missed a few scroll siege minions, experienced minions on the bottom lane, and Kurtzy has the lead in terms of level. And here's the thing about levels that scales really, really well in the early game with execution. The higher the level, the higher the damage of execution will be.
They cannot, they can really not understand what Omega is doing here. It's just pressure after pressure. Even Rebo,
Look at it.
even Rebo is finding trouble into the
Alright.
top lane.
Nice pick up on the hit. Lusty shouldn't overstay. And there goes the GC. He wants to bait in. He goes for the dive in. Also, the Blade of Death is allowed for Kurtzy to make the cleanup. And there goes Bren. They try to re-engage. They will be punished as they get avenged here by the members of Omega. And that's it. That's gonna be it. Rebo also went for the dive onto Toast, but first the damage of Pew is yet to drop his own umbrella there. That's gonna be a total trade of 3-for-1, and it's gonna be won by OMG.
Clearly, Omega has the damage output advantage here against BREN Esports. Even if Carl got the 2 kills, he did not survive that,
Yeah.
and that means they cannot turn it into an objective.
Yeah.
It's still a 3v2.
Yeah.
Omega here still winning because they have objectives on their side.
Especially with the turret shield that was taken in by the Omega squad.
Oh.
That is a lot of gold. That is a lot of acceleration for them. Flapsy. Okay.
He survives.
Yeah, he
Doesn't have a
survives.
flicker.
Yeah, I think also Hayes went for a very late flicker on that part. He went for the flicker maybe to go for the bite. But there goes another bite here onto the turtle side. Curlsy focuses on towards Rebo. Doesn't care. He has the lead. Yet to press his execution. And there we go. Curlsy dueling here. Curlsy dueling Curtsy here. Lots of Z actually whenever these two teams fight. Doesn't matter though. It's a win by BREN Esports 1-0.
What is the true TZ connection? Is it Hajizi and TZ, Kurtizi, or Curl TZ
Lasty.
and Flap TZ?
Yes.
Who is the real TZ
It's
connection
the real
here?
TZ, man. You got the real Slim Shady, but here in PH you got the real TZ.
Slim
the real
TZ.
Slim TZ, the Slim TZs.
Slim TZ. Man, oh man, BREN Esports here. They are on the verge of losing this series, but you know what, Omega, they are still capable of making mistakes.
Look at the
as
gold
well as
lead here.
BREN Esports.
Look at the gold lead here, man.
Yeah.
5k almost onto Hajisi, 3.6 onto Kurtisi. This is Project Next.
I think Ling is exceptional right now.
Yeah.
Seeing how important, imperative for you to rotate fast into
Yeah.
the map.
And get objectives, right?
Oh,
And participate in the lanes to win the lanes here. But of course, BREN Esports will be able to secure the turtle. It's still gonna be the same story. No patch update can actually hinder him on stealing the turtle. And that's it. That's gonna be BREN. They're going for the cleanup. Quite late here for the entrance of Laptisi. Doesn't matter though. And there we go. 3-4-0. BREN Esports gonna go for Toshi. And yes, that's it. 4 members here into the pocket of BREN.
one collapse is all it takes. Omega here.
Oh!
They tried to secure the kill on Hajizi.
Yeah.
And Hajizi went in to what? To take down that siege cannon.
Yeah, just to take the siege cannon for that part. BREN was able to capitalize here. Let's see the Gillette instant replay here.
Now, you're seeing the Shinbu that Retribution was perfect, RNG was on their side. Carl went for the artillery, he went for the backlines first for Selena so that there are no more arrows that you're gonna fly out and disable them.
Yeah, and also I think Curtisi was able to face out with that light and bounce. That's why no clear target on Curtisi. But it will be a different story here. Hajisi engages on the Curtisi. And also gonna be an airborne here delivered by Flaftisi towards Hajisi. Hajisi points him. And of course Curtisi following up onto Rebo. Ladies and gentlemen, with the blood out already on. Toshi onto the back line. Lusty as well on this outer mid lane inhibitor turret and also mid lane turret. And they got Few as well dancing around. Toshi has the durability for this, allowing Kurt Z to actually go for the push.
Talk
Maybe a fight.
about overstaying your welcome, Rebo, just connecting with that flowing blood and that blood
Look
on.
at Toshi.
And Rebo gets bumped by Toshi.
Yeah, I mean, only sights coming in from Toshi there as Rebo is just making sure that Toshi doesn't leave, doesn't respond to go for a dive here on the mid, but at the cost of his own life. No sustain can withstand here. The sights on Toshi, not having to actually have the deadly blade even. just has claws and endless battle and a vitality crystal. Oh my god.
I think that's one of the problems here for the side of BREN Esports. Yes, it's a good alternative against the Raptor Machete, but you know, it sets you back on the important items, on your core items.
Yeah.
You're not even gonna proceed in making that into a hull.
Yeah. Um, that's the sacrifice you get.
That's a sacrifice you get.
For the.
And I think it puts them on the backslide.
Especially if you're behind. Yeah. Especially if the team is behind. Right?
Rebo, oh my goodness, look at that bomb coming out from Hajizi and Curtsy. They just okay. Omega is working in a way that they really just want to pressure every single lane here on the side of BREN Esports.
Yeah. I mean that's the story of the game. Ever since even before the project next, it's just that it is more rewarding. It's
more rewarding.
to actually get the pressure onto the lanes. Flapsy commits to his way of the dragon, commits to his step, and of course, BREN Esports gonna follow up. And that's it. Lusty wasn't able to back out very quick. Rebo is, of course, he just came from the base. Really no chance of going in. Now that is, I'm not accounting for mistakes here on BREN, but that is a clear mistake there by Flapsy.
I don't know why he went in for the commit on that way of the dragon.
Yeah.
There was really no way
For BREN.
that you can get the
Follow.
kill on
Yeah.
Eve. If that was a Ling, I would have
Yeah.
understood that.
Yeah, and
because
all in
that,
on healing.
that means Cardzi can just go in with a Lycan bounce, and
Especially without purification on
take him
Haji.
down. And probably it would stop Omega from taking down the Lord. But if it's a Jawhead, you don't
Yeah.
really do that.
You don't really do that, fully commit onto that one. He doesn't even need to land the ejector. You just need to activate the smart missiles for that part. There's gonna be an easy catch there for Rebo. And I don't feel that this is really a leading tower. Getting brought down by a slight push by the Omega here. And it escalates very, very quickly. Hit here, focusing towards Flap Carl DC. And now a follow-up done in by Toshi quite late. Now they're focusing towards Lusty. Lusty shell gets cracked. And it's gonna be a trade of 1-for-1 with the buff going to the side of Omega.
You know what? While everything of that is happening on the map, Haji and the others, they just go for the split. There is a Lord into the bottom lane of BREN
Yeah.
Esports here.
3 lanes.
Problems on 3 lanes.
Yeah. You know, this hurler just piles up for the side and against BREN Esports. Ladies and gentlemen, at 17-8. And oh my, this is totally surprising against a team that has the longest win streak here at our regular season. This is gonna be their very first defeat if ever this goes fully and gets shoved completely against their base. A miracle here is required to save the streak, ladies and gentlemen. And there goes Flap DZ. He went for the flicker, just connects the way of the dragon onto Hajizi. There's gonna pick out DZ, not allowed to actually cast the Lycan bounce, and that's it. Hajizi will be able to walk away. Lusty also follows through along with Rebo, and the fight breaks out. Hajizi re-engage with a full health. Where is this coming from? And now let's see here. As he falls back, there is gonna be hit quite quick on the flicker, and now we got here the push being done here by the members of Omega onto the inhibitor turret in the top lane side. Rebo gonna be melted through by the members of Omega, and I think that's it. It's gonna be pick after picks, and few will be the next one to be kicked out of life here by Omega.
BREN Esports, look at what one patch can do to the invulnerable ones. They looked unbeatable way back on the previous meta, but right now they're on their last legs.
Now there's last leg,
Will the streak stay
Yeah.
alive?
Will the streak stay alive? It's actually flashing before their eyes. You know, kills after kills, a mega kill against their main carry, and that's it. Onto the base. The streak has ended, and this series closes in 2-0 for Omega.
For a team that had struggles into adjusting into the 6-ban setup to the 10-ban setup, Omega right now, they